Welcome to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Podcast. Kay Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. And today I have our guest. Her name is Ashley B. She's an advocate for inner child. And she's in Cleveland, Ohio. How are you doing, Ashley?
I'm blessed.
I know
How you
that's
doing?
right. I am great. Yes. So we're going to go ahead and get into the interview. So you are an advocate for the inner child that resides inside the youth of the hood. Can you please elaborate on that and what that means?
So an advocate is somebody who speaks for those who don't maybe have the ability to speak for themselves. An advocate is someone who actually can identify a need and a want. In those aspects, I advocate for the inner child because the inner child is that helps you be your best. So let me make sure I'm making this make sense. So I advocate for the inner child. The inner child is that love, that God-like energy within yourself that wants to be itself. I focus on the education system. So when I'm advocating for children for the most part and family, I'm making sure that they are able to be their most highest self, or if they're not in spaces, that helps them to be their highest self or their brightest self, to identify their talents and their strengths. It is my job as an advocate to pour that light into them so they can see themselves much clearer.
I love that. You said pour the light into them so they can see themselves most clear. Now, when you say pouring your light, can you talk about that? Because it might be someone out there in the audience that's like, oh, I want to know more. How does she help them pour out that light?
Mm-hmm. So you can only pour what you have within yourself. I'm not saying like just pour it like into yourself is empty, but how I pour into others is by giving them love, by being aware of their needs and their wants. I'm very intuitive. I'm very aware of people's strengths, even though they may not be aware of them themselves. I like to speak encouragement into them. So when I say pouring light into them, basically what I'm doing is how I treat myself and pour into myself, I'm pouring into them. And I notice that a lot of people need that just to get them a picker-upper so they can be, more light with themselves. Be more clear with themselves, be more in tune with themselves, be more aware of themselves, and love themselves, most importantly. I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense. So, it's Positive Vibes Talk Show because basically what you're saying is all positive vibes, is putting positive out there. And that makes a lot of sense because that's what we need, more positivity. It's a lot of negativity in this world for just people like you to go ahead and pour out that positivity. It's beautiful.
Or I don't mean to cut you off, but also like give them that voice. Like I feel like those who are advocates in our community, when we talk about children, those are the ones who wish they had a person like themselves. So they went through something as a childhood, and they wish they had somebody to help them or to have a better understanding, or maybe like just give them some encouragement or let them know that they are present, or make them feel, just make them feel who they are. I apologize. I lost my train of thought, but I feel like the advocates are mostly those people who needed them when they was their age.
I love that. The advocates are people who feel like they needed someone like them when they were their age. So by you just saying that, was there someone that was an advocate for you that inspired you? Or did you say, I wish I had this as a child?
You ask good questions, and I do feel positive energy from you.
Thank you.
I just do it more so, like I just said, I didn't have that person. I ain't gonna say I had that person because you meet everybody for a reason. Everybody, they teach you something different, right?
Yes.
But for that person to really to make you feel protected, to pour into you, to like, ooh, I see you you dress real good. You might be into fashion, and really just pouring you those resources into you, or just giving you some insight of really who you are. So again, awareness is important to me. I feel like as an advocate, you let that individual let them know that they are being seen, they are being heard, and they have something within themselves as well. So just, again, pouring that light into them is, the more I pour my light into them, they're able to pour that into themselves and be that light amongst other people.
So you mentioned some great things. You said, like, if someone can dress well, and you'll tell them, hey, you might be into fashion, because someone might be at home and they mom like, put that down. You don't be tearing up them clothes. And then you see them and you're like, nah, they got something in them. So for just
sure.
you to pull that out and to be that person to pull that out, that's amazing. A lot of adults still have some stuff that they need to pull out, but they haven't pulled it out because someone around them haven't told them. There's a lot of people who see it. They might be like, oh, you are a good, sewer. But no one encouraged their friend or family member to go out there and do that. So I appreciate you. I commend you. I applaud you, because we need that. And like I said, even adults today, so it's someone out there listening and they feel like, I do have this. It's never too late. Until we are in the ground, that's when it's too late. But if you still have breath and you still have a vision and a goal and a mission, go ahead and do it. So we need more advocates like Ashley B. Okay. Now, you mentioned as well, you talked about how majority of your childhood that you thought you were dumb. Then you realized that you were a visual creative. So once again, we talked about the creative, how you pull that out. People around you were like in survival mode. Can you talk about that as well?
All right, so that's a two-piece.
Yes.
I'm in a library, so I might get kicked out of the room.
Oh, no.
We gonna make this work.
We gonna make it work.
Yeah, we definitely gonna make it work. So this, let you know. That's a two-part. I got the questions because I could be all over the place.
No, that's fine. Just flow.
So I thought I was dumb. Back to I thought I was dumb. I feel like that's just more so going towards like not being able to be educated the way that you are being taught, that you are supposed to be taught. All children do not learn the same way. Like even starting with my mother, I remember my mother, she used to teach me how to do math, and she'd get real mad. If Johnny had, she was that type of mother.
So 5 apples.
But she wasn't teaching me how I would learn. I'm more of a visual creative. Like, you got to draw stuff. You got to be very imaginative. You got to use colors. Like, you can't just talk to me. Like, I get what you're saying, but you got to show me. So I thought I was dumb. Like, and there was nobody else who was able to pick that up and be like, all right, well, maybe she don't learn that way. Or, maybe she learned this way. So I just thought I was dumb. I don't know. I just thought I was dumb. I'm trying to pull some more from that.
No, I like how you said too. You said like the 5 apples, because Ashley, how I learned, Ashley B, I'm like you. I'm visual audio. If you give me something to read, I might go to sleep. If you give me something to process, I might go to sleep. That's why I tell people I like to talk. I'm visual, and it's so scary because I could watch a movie and I kid you not, the next time the movie come on, I remember what they said. I'm like, that is so weird. To me it's weird. To someone, they might be like, wow. But I can remember somebody tell me something, honey, and everybody would be like, yeah, she remember. I have an elephant memory, and I honestly think it's from my father's side, because I swear we remember everything. But everything else, yeah. But it's once
I can't remember nothing.
Yes. I'm the same way. So I love you said that, because I think that's another thing when people try to explain something to someone, like you said, your mom, girl, everybody don't learn the same way.
Right.
And it's frustrating when someone is like, oh, you don't get it. No, I don't get it. So now you need to explain it to me different. I
don't mean to cut you off, but that makes you feel dumb, because it's like you're not getting from their concept. So you think that's the only concept when there's a million other ways to look at something. I'm an observer, so sometimes I just got to look at a situation, or sometimes I like dialogue. I like to learn from other people to get a better understanding of a situation. I don't know, everybody's experiences and learning habits is different. So I think that's very important when we talking about schools, like when we teaching kids, like making sure that we are actually teaching them how they are able to retain the information, or why are we teaching them. And I know we're going to get into that question in a minute. It made me think of if we ain't talking about the kids and what we're talking about, but
come on now.
I can wait.
Yes. But like you said, I mean, somebody's in school and they learning something different, and then that can discourage someone to not want to go to school. Because if I'm at school every day and the teacher's like, why you don't know X, Y, Z? Okay, I don't understand it that way. And the kids in the classroom are like, oh, she don't know it. I mean, we went over it 10 times. Yeah, because that's not how I learned. So just to be the advocate for that person, to be in a school and to say, this person don't learn that way. Can y'all maybe y'all need to put a song, teach them a song, and maybe they might learn that way as well. So
yes, it's good to open their eyes to different things. I mean, if it's essential for their well-being, like as far as the basics of, education, then find different ways. But sometimes the kid is just not interested at all, and we being forced to learn things that don't have no substance to our understanding of wanting to know. So I think that's important too. Again, putting children in spaces where they actually have I don't even know why I can't get the word out, but like a real passion for, like they want to know. So not forcing information that they don't really care to learn. That's really not going to help them in the long run anyway.
Care to learn, or they going to do later. Because like everybody say, a lot of stuff you learn in school, do you do it now?
No.
We ain't doing it.
You don't know how to apply it to life. They don't teach you how to apply it to life. If it's that important, teach me where I'm going to be doing this at. Like, it's a lot of stuff that we think that we're not going to learn or we're going to need, but we actually do. And if you put it in a way where we can kind of correlate the two, it will make more sense to us. And that just talk about, like, that goes with the teachers, like being able to relate with children, like where they come from, so you can be able to use different examples for them to understand. Because if you're not speaking from their how they see the world, then it's really going to go over their head anyway.
Right. Because some people, when they go to school, they thinking about where their next meal is coming from.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was a substitute teacher for a minute in 2011. And it's challenging. Like you said, you do have to teach kids a different way. And I had special needs. And they learned well with, like, songs. The assistant teacher and I will ask them, what did you guys do over the weekend? Oh, we sang this. So I'm like, oh, they like songs? Okay, well, let me just put it in songs. And, that's how they learn it. So, yeah, like you said, reaching to that person and seeing how they learn. Come on, Ashley B.
Yeah, and it's all about paying attention and observing them.
Yes.
Sometimes the kids don't know, so you observe and see these patterns of what they always doing. Then you kind of, help them learn better.
Yes, and it's people like that because when I was on that assignment, I had 2 assignments that were weeks. Like sometimes when you sub, you just go to different schools. But then it's some teachers like, nope, I need her to teach my class. So that was a blessing. And one of the ladies said, you don't never have to worry about a job. You ever want to get a job? I'm like, that's such a blessing. But it's because how you interact with the kids. And they feel like, okay, this teacher is out. She's actually care about the kids. She wants them to learn. And she sees ways to help them learn. So when you're an advocate, hey, that helps. I love that. So you talked about being a visual creative, how you thought you were dumb, and then you are not. You are wise and helping out others, honey. You are intelligent. Mm-hmm. So we thank you for that. And let's talk about this, because there are some people that think they're dumb. How can they encourage themselves?
You said some people out here that think they dumb, and how can they encourage themselves?
Yeah, so they won't think that anymore. Is there some, like...
is there a formula?
Honey, not a formula, but affirmations or, or something that they can do, or even, like I said, reach out to an advocate. How can they do that if they are saying, I don't know?
All right, repeat that question one more time. If they feel like they dumb, how do they know?
So, like, yeah, if it's somebody out there that needs to be encouraged, do they feel like, you know what, I'm too dumb, I will never amount to anything? Is there, like, an encouragement? Or, because, we could do all things through Christ that strengthens us.
I meet people like that all the time. It breaks my heart, to be honest with you. You're making me think about a cashier I was talking to at Walmart. I'll be at Walmart, and I'll be telling the teenagers, follow your dreams.
Yes.
and they be feeling that, and I feel like that make them feel good. But anyway, I was talking to the cashier at customer service, and I just be tapping into their energy, see where they at, and how they feeling. And the long story short, I told him to follow his dreams, and he said I can't because I'm a loser. When it comes to stuff like that, again, it breaks my heart. But I feel like affirmations are good, but you got to be able to believe yourself when you are saying them. Like, I am smart. Yes. Some people are saying they don't really resonate with it because they don't believe it. I feel like the individual has to be willing to figure out why, like what is the core of that, why you don't feel like you believe in yourself or you can achieve things. I would say do things that you enjoy. I feel like when you focus, because we so much focus on the negative, focus on the positive. You can't do it. Go do something that you can do. And when you're doing something that you can do, it really brings in that light, that inspiration of imagination of, something connected to that. I don't know. It's just something that awakens you when you're doing something that you enjoy to fantasize about other things and to get your mind to think about more positive things. So do something you do know how to do. Do something that you do enjoy how to do. And, don't focus too much on your weaknesses. Focus on your strengths.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm glad that you were at that place at the right time, because anybody else could have just, would have just not talked to him and just checked out. But for you to see a young man and say, hey, what's your passion? What's your dreams? And for him to even respond, and then for you to give him that light, as you mentioned earlier, thank you for doing that, because we need more people like you. I think even that, some people, they think their life doesn't matter, or it doesn't mean anything. But that one thing, you could change his life. Now, next time he might not be at Walmart. He might be an owner of, maybe he's into sneakers. He might be an owner of a shoe store. But he would never got that if you would never awaken that and showed him that light. So thank you for doing that, Ashley B. See, that's why we got Ashley B. She is an advocate. That's why we got her on the show.
And I do believe that, like, even though a person don't accept that information or that, just that smile or that compliment that you give them at that moment, it's definitely going to plant a seed. I remember somebody told me, like, I really had low self-esteem. I didn't really get complimented as a kid. And just somebody saying simply, oh, your hair is cute, or that shirt is cute, you're going to be thinking about that hairstyle. You're going to be wanting to wear your hairstyle like that all the time. Yes. You want to wear this shirt because somebody told me that I look good in this. So especially with those who, battle with confidence, yes. I think that is very important for us to be nice to each other. Just be nice. And I feel like you can only be nice to people if you're nice to yourself.
You can only be nice to people if you are nice to yourself. I love that you said that, because I feel the same way as well. If you notice, a lot of people who compliment other people are people that feel good about themselves. Some people who don't feel good about themselves, they can never say, you look cute. Because for some strange reason, they feel as if that's taken away from them. No, it don't take away from you. Give somebody their props. There's nothing wrong with giving somebody their props. There's nothing wrong with saying congratulations. There's nothing wrong about pouring into a friend. And if you see they starting a business, honey, helping them out, and not saying you have to buy everything. But even if you share something, you could just share a post. That's still helping. But some people will be like, I ain't going to help because I don't want nobody doing better than me. Like, man, come on now. But if you don't,
to be honest with you, yes, I don't really understand those type of people. I feel like sometimes, I don't know. I don't know because I can only speak for myself. But I feel like you're just born with that energy, like humanity, like care, like it's just like that caring, that empathy. Like I feel like you're just born with that. I don't feel like everybody not really born with it to a certain level. There's levels to that. So I don't know, just thinking like, I don't think everybody might seem a little harsh, but I think it just come with you naturally.
Okay. Yeah, you said some people, I mean, I guess some people, some people are, but I feel like those people who aren't, they need to get with the program, because we need more positive things in this world, and just for them to be negative Nancy, man, that ain't good. But hopefully, even this conversation will help awaken something in someone, okay?
I like how you make things into positive.
Yes.
I love that about you.
Yes. Turn a negative into a positive. And that's what they say. The glass is halfway full or halfway empty. You could either see it that way. Some people, it's always, what about me? What about me? It's halfway empty. This is for me. What about think about others? Like, back to the man at Walmart. You didn't have to do that. You was buying your groceries. You should be about your day. But for you to take your time out and do that, that was amazing. And that's something that, you can't beat God's giving. So you give like that, he gonna keep on blessing you and giving towards you. Cause
I mean it's not at everybody, but I just feel like some people pick up like, can we all feel energy,
yes.
But some people feel it's stronger than others.
Yes.
Like, can you sense when somebody is sad in a room or when
yes.
they're angry? Like, can you pick that up?
Yes. You can. Yes, you can. Yeah, it's like, when somebody comes in the room, you can even feel like, they about to have an attitude. Or you can feel when somebody is happy. You could feel that. Definitely. I agree. You can feel that. So your motto, as you told the man, is follow your dreams. And if we're not talking about the youth, then what are we talking about? So let's go ahead and talk more about the youth, because if we ain't talking about them, then what we doing? No,
that's a fact. And you can look at that in so many different ways. If we're not talking about the youth, then what we talking about? That could be like just how are the children in general? How are we raising the children? How are we preparing the children for future generations to come? Even talking about that childlike energy within yourself. Like, yes. Are you having these conversations with that little you? Telling just starting with yourself. When you had asked the question, how can a person start believing themselves? Like, start pouring into yourself, talking to yourself, saying your affirmations. I believe in myself. I love myself. Just really like the quality living of the children. Like, we all been children. We all had to go to school in some type of form. Like, what do you remember from that? What can you make better in that situation for kids to be able to prosper more? I don't feel like I can talk to, I don't know, some people maybe went to a school that was just the best school that they ever thought they ever went to. But for those who didn't go to those type of schools, and I don't believe those really exist, just like there's nobody's life better than yours. Like, how are we like making those systems better? Like, and we talk about all these problems in the world, and that's really what's getting to, like, the youth is the base of all problems, because we all were youth. Like, we have to start off with what we see in our world that caused us or brought us to where we are at right now, that we need to be better in our life. Like, the youth is truth. Like, you ask a question to a youth, they're going to tell you the truth. They're not going to sugarcoat it, because they're coming from their most purest heart. They don't know they don't know how, when you tell them that you're fat or you're ugly, how it's going to affect you. They just know they're telling you the truth. And I'm talking about like baby. Like, the younger they are, the more purest they are, because they just came into this realm where they're about to start getting conditioned by people who are not in their childlike energy or not in their most 100% self, and bringing this fear based into them, because we do live in survival mode. So, we talking about youth is truth. It just tell you again, it's back to that quote, how are the children? However, the children are operating and feeling in the community and in your family is really how the foundation and the structure is in the whole. So that's what youth is truth is. If you want to get the answer, you can either ask the youth, because they're going to tell you the truth, or you ask yourself, how are the children thriving in our family and in our community?
Okay, so you mentioned about the youth, and like the word says, have a childlike faith, because as you mentioned, when you're at the youth, you are pure. If like you said, they might tell you, why you got that on? I ain't your color. And they don't know, like, the effects. Yeah, they don't know. So when you're young, you believe. That's one good thing about having a childlike faith, and that we get away with as adults. When you are young, you can believe you could do anything. You could believe you are the president. Come on now, you believe you're the CEO because you're young. Like, I'm going to do that. What you going to be when you grow up? Oh, I'm going to be the next. It's always, and it's confidence in it. But then we lose it. Sometimes we lose it because it might be someone who's like, oh, you ain't about to be nothing. And it's like, wow. But then that breaks someone down. I remember Steve Harvey said when he was in school, he's from Cleveland too. Come on, Cleveland in the house. Steve Harvey said when he was in school, his teacher told him, what do you guys want to be when you grow up? So everybody wrote doctor, all this stuff that they expected, that they was like, oh, I'm going to be because sometimes people don't have the faith to say what they really want to do. So Steve Harvey put the faith. He said, I want to be on TV. So the teacher said, look at this. Y'all, Steve Harvey said he want to be on TV, and everybody started laughing. And then, I'm just paraphrasing, honey. I know I ain't Steve Harvey, but paraphrasing. So then he said,
make you feel bad.
Yes. He went home, and his mom said, why you write that down? And he was like, I want to be on TV. Show your dad. So he showed his dad. And then his dad was like, son, go write down, teacher, whatever, but put in your drawer what you just wrote, and I want you to read it every day. Honey, Steve Harvey on TV, he said he get that teacher a TV every year because he on TV. But his dad said, no, son, that's what you want to do. You do it. So speaking of that, honey, we're going to go into we're going to hear more of you in part 2. But how can we reach you, Ashley B?
You can text me 216-556-4608. I'm on Instagram at Ashley B _childhood advocate. And also my website is ashleybchildhoodadvocate.org.
Thank you guys for that. We're going to have Ashley B on next week because, we got to get into this light and the youth. And we are going to continue to encourage you guys to get into that. And Ashley B is an advocate. And I also want to let you guys know that this show is looking for sponsors. So if you want to be a sponsor on the show, you can listen to this show all around the world. Just contact me. You can send an email, Kay Willis, Positive Vibes Talk Show @gmail.com, and that's KAYWILLIS POSITIVE Vibes Talk Show @gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes Talk Show on 1580thepraise.com, a Gold Chip communication station. Like, share, and subscribe to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes podcast. Check out my book, The Principles of Overcoming Life's Obstacles, a 31-day journey to positive living, available on Amazon.com. Just type Kay Willis. And thank you for tuning in to the Kay Willis Positive Vibes podcast.